Hey traders, David Frost, LazyGapTrader.com. In this video, we're talking about day trading. More specifically, we're talking about gap trading and how gap trading is by far the single most consistent and profitable strategy you can find across the markets today. I do a couple of things, and the first one is I teach my form of gap trading through two strategies within my course. The first strategy is known as the morning gap trades. This is where stocks are gapping higher or lower at the open, which creates an opportunity for traders. And the opportunity is for traders that can identify a specific price where these stocks should first be drawn to like a magnet and then have a price reaction from in the other direction. The other strategy is known as the gap fill trades. And this is where stocks that are gapping higher or lower at the open leave what's called an open gap. At some point in the future, those open gaps get filled. What I do throughout the course is I teach traders how to track them, and I also teach traders how to trade them. Not all trades are created equal, and when there's a gap fill occurring, it all depends on how the stock comes in to fill that gap, on whether or not it's a good tradable opportunity or not. All that's discussed in detail in the course at Lazy Gap Trader. The other thing I do is I give traders an opportunity to get my gap trades each and every day sent to them at 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time, 30 minutes before the market's even opened for business. Let's take a look at that list and then we'll come back and pick apart some of the charts. So here's the list from this morning, and as you can see, it arrived at 9:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There were 9 potential gap trades on the board today. We're in the heart of earnings season, so there's a lot of opportunity each and every day. Yesterday, we had a bonanza, and today, the market has to let us know who's in charge, and a lot of the stocks missed their levels by just pennies. However, we did get some trades off, and I want to go over those in detail. So in the interest of time, what I'll do with this list today is just run through real quick and let you know which stocks hit their levels, which was only one, and which stocks came close, and then we'll look at the gap fill list because we got a couple of trades out of that list as well. So F5, FFIV was a miss, didn't get there. BMY, that was an interesting one. It didn't get to my level, but there was an opportunity to select 2 different levels with Bristol Myers this morning. And actually, other traders that I've taught that have taken the course picked the correct level and actually got the trade off. I went to the lower level and it missed by a few pennies, but that's trading. That's the way it works. But I'm happy that other traders got the trade off, so they got a positive trade out of that. I'll go over it real quick in a minute. AstraZeneca, AZN, didn't hit its level. Twitter came close, missed by a few pennies. Johnson Controls hit its level. I'll talk about that trade in detail. Teradyne, TER, that came close. Didn't hit its level, but it was very close. Bud was a heartbreaker. That was gapping higher. We had a short trade at 124.13. That came very, very close. I'll show you that one real quick. O'Reilly didn't come close, and CPN didn't come close either. And then we have a laundry list of gap fill trades that I send to traders each and every day. We did get a couple of trades off this list. eBay was a trade, and also JetBlue was a trade. eBay, we had a gap fill level at $37.17 as a short trade, and JetBlue was a long trade at $21.57. We'll look at these 2 stocks as well. There was one more trade off of my gap fill trade list, which was TPX. It didn't make it onto this list. I can only give out so many to traders each and every day. I have about 260 stocks on my master list that are just waiting to fill their gaps, and TPX was just a little bit farther away than I like to give traders in the morning out of this list. I give about 30 stocks on this list. It just didn't make the cut this morning, but I'll show you the trade anyway. Now here's Bristol Myers Squibb. Now here's the deal. The way I teach how to calculate these levels in my course, there are some options. In my course, I describe how this is part science, part art form. And in this case, there was a couple of different ways to calculate the price level that traders could have made a decision one way or the other. I took the lower level because I wanted to see a pierce through the even number of 52. I thought that was the higher probability level, but there was another opportunity to take the trade at about 51.27, I believe, and that trade would have worked out because look where Bristol Myers Squibb is right now. It's at 54.25. Just a tremendous rip off the lower level. But look what happened. Look where the low was today. 52.06. My level was at 52.96, so I missed it by 10 cents. But you can see the power of these price levels that I teach how to calculate in my course. So the stock missed by a few pennies, but look at the rip higher off this pricing zone. That's why this is just a phenomenal and unbelievable strategy that each and every trader can learn by simply taking the information in and applying themselves. And then they seek my help, they seek my support, and I give them everything I've got. I give them all the support that they require in order to be successful. All right, so BMY was a miss. So be it. That's the way trading goes, folks. We know that. Next up, Twitter. My level on Twitter was $16.70. This morning, the stock came to $16.85 and then pulled up short and reversed the other direction. When you look at the 10-minute chart, still may get to $16.70, but that trade is different now. When you look at the 10-minute chart, you can see here early in the morning, the stock gets to a low of $16.85 and rips higher, and just minutes later was at $17.60. You know, we missed that trade by a few pennies. That's the way it goes. Yesterday was a bonanza. We got 6 positive trades. Today we missed a few by pennies. That's the business of trading. It's just the way it works. But you can see the power of these price levels. Johnson Control, another one. 39.64 was the level. The stock went through the level. Traders that took this level and abided by the stop were stopped out of the trade. I get that. The problem is the stock went a little bit through the even number of 38 or 39, pardon me, and then reversed and then actually gave the positive trade after that. But that's the way trading goes. We don't win 100% of the time. But all in all, if you go back through all these videos, you can see, and I give the levels each and every day in the video, so there's no secrets here. You can see that the win rate is in excess of 75% of the time. But that still means that we're going to lose some trades. That's just the way trading is. Nobody can win 100% of the time. It's impossible. So even though I had a losing trade, I make the video anyway because I want to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I want to show you everything I've got, and I want to display to you that I'm here to teach, and I'm here to just lay it all out on the table as it relates to this strategy. So technically speaking, Johnson Controls was a loss as it relates to the stop loss that's recommended in the email that goes out at 9 o'clock. Teradyne, TER, another one that missed by a little bit. The level that I identified this morning was $32.85. And look what happened here. The low happened to be 33.12. It didn't get down to the even number of 33 and pierce through it. However, it did rip higher, and look at that rip higher. Just a few minutes later, the stock was at a high of $35. Now, if we just got one more push lower into and through the even number, we would have gotten the same rip higher and a tremendous trade. And guess what? Yesterday we got a couple of those, and sometimes we do, and sometimes we miss by a little bit. Today was one of those days. A little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. But it just, again, goes to show you the power of these price levels and the fact that when the stocks get to these levels, we have the price reaction we're looking for in the other direction. And that's what creates the phenomenal trading opportunity that this is. Here's another one, Bud. And we're going to wrap this up pretty quickly. I know this video is getting long in the tooth, but I have a lot to talk about today, and I just wanted to show you everything I've got. So the level on Bud was 124.13. The high in the second candle of the day was 124.01. Missed it by 12 cents. And pulled back, and you can see we've already made a low of 122.13, down a couple of bucks. I mean, it's a heartbreaker. It is what it is. It missed the level by just a few pennies. Again, it's one of those days, but you can see the power of these price levels that traders learn how to calculate specifically in the course. Now we have that gap fill list that I showed you. And here is JetBlue. 21.57 was the gap fill level. You can see what happened. The stock came into that level and immediately reversed minutes later, making a high of 21.93. That's a great scalp trade off the level given out at 9 o'clock before the market was even open for business. eBay, check this one out. The gap fill level was 37.17 off that list. And you can see here, I mean, I don't even have to show you this one. Let me move this over. The stock made a low already today of 36.12. 28, so we're almost $1 in the money in just a couple of hours. Phenomenal trade off the gap fill list given out, yes, at 9 o'clock in the morning before the opening bell. And here was the other one that wasn't on the list that I sent out to my traders. However, it was on my master list. Starting the day, it was just a little farther away than the 30 or 31 stocks that I give out, but you can see what happened. The gap fill level was 63.19, and the stock came into the level, pierced through it, backed off, and here we are at 61.17. Tremendous gain off of a gap fill trade. Traders can learn how to do this for themselves each and every day. I teach you everything you need to know in order to be successful trading the gaps, both the morning gap strategy and the gap fill trading strategy. Not only that, but I'm at a point in my life where I'm paying it forward. I want to help as many traders that want to learn and have the desire and the discipline to do so. I want to help them as much as possible. So everybody that purchases my course gets my full and complete attention. I'll help you as much as I can. I'm David Frost, LazyGapTrader.com. Thanks for tuning in, traders.